Ramiz, how you feeling?
Oh, man. Amazing. Anytime I get to come in here, do my job, and do a good job at my job and win, crazy feeling, man. Best feeling in the world, right? It's like, I don't know. I haven't done many drugs in my life, but I don't think that there's many highs like this one.
Before we get to the fight, what was this like last 2-ish weeks where like you had opponents switch up and you're training for Oban, who's different from Billy, and
Yeah.
like the switch up, like what was going on through your head and like going into this fight?
It is what it is. That's it. It is what it is. And, I got an amazing team behind me that keep me cool, calm, level-headed. I got polar opposites of people around me, right? Completely different personalities that range from Bilal Muhammad to Kevin Holland, my amazing coach, Mike Valle, my crazy good manager, Justin Adams, my brother, all of these people that are right beside me, man, day in and day out. They keep me level-headed, and my beautiful family, first and foremost, and my mind. I just told myself, I was like, in my head, I was like, it doesn't matter, man. As long as I'm contracted to this organization and I get to do my job, it is what it is. Dude, you have to understand something. My first fight was in Louisiana, in Alexandria. I warmed up, not even in the kitchen. I had to walk through a kitchen while a chef was cooking food, right? To fight in the ballroom in Alexandria, Louisiana. And he looks back, he's like, hey man, best of luck out there, right? So I'll fight in somebody's backyard if it's for money. It'd be sure, whatever. So Apex, anywhere, it don't matter. It's cool.
Speaking of your team, how'd you get with the master Mike Valle?
Say again?
Speaking of your team, how did you get with the master Mike and the...
Oh, man, I was blessed and fortunate enough to actually work with Mike my last camp for my Mickey Gall fight. I did it in Chicago. I was training with Bilal when he was getting ready for Shavkat, and it was just crazy. I hit it off with Mike almost immediately. Love his ideas, his coaching style, just a lot of things he does that resonate very well with me. You know what I mean? And it was incredible. It was amazing.
Talking about the fight, man, what was the game plan coming into this fight?
I had high expectations from my last fight, right? I wanted to show, especially in my last fight, that I can strike, and I'm a very proficient striker. I think a lot of people that I've trained with can attest to that. I'm crazy good in the room, but that don't mean shit if you can't translate it into the octagon, So I wanted to go out there in my last fight and be so methodical and pitch such a great performance, but I also don't ever want to escape my roots, you know what I mean? And hey man, jiu-jitsu has my heart, but so does boxing. It's funny. Boxing actually is my first love. The first thing I ever did was put on boxing gloves when I was a kid in the Bronx, New York.
So did you see a obvious grappling weakness in Billy, and is that why you...
100%. 100%. Once I started to see him square his stance up, and I was actually working this drill with my coach and Ignacio Bahamondes about cutting the octagon off. That's why I was applying so much pressure. I didn't want him to pressure me, right? So I started to immediately cut the octagon off because I knew that he would bring the pace, he would bring the chaos. He's a chaotic fighter, and he's from the East Coast, so... trust me, East Coast dudes, man, they're psychopaths to fight them. You gotta put them out, right? But that's just for everybody in the UFC. Everybody here is a tough SOB. So, once I saw that and I saw that he wasn't feeling too comfortable, I did a couple of things. I worked with my coach, with Bilal, with even Kevin in Dallas and all these guys, and just saw the opportunity, took it, I'm never gonna let an opportunity get away from me.
Speaking of that finish, you think you're John Jones now with that choke and drop, or what's up? Listen, please. For everybody at home, I never mean to do that. I'm so sorry. You understand? I never want to be a disrespectful sport. I never want to be a sore winner, sore loser, anything like that. I never, ever want to hurt somebody beyond what it is, right? Because he has to go home to his family. I have to go home to my family, and it's a part of the sport, so I tip my hat to that man. Really, truly do. You understand? I tip my hat to every single body that steps foot into this octagon. I share the octagon with, and even people I don't share the octagon with, watching every single sportsman and sportswoman that steps foot into that UFC octagon, they put so much risk on the line, so you never, ever want to be disrespectful. in a sense like that. You know, this dude never did nothing to me, and I have all the respect in the world, but it was pretty slick. But I didn't mean to do that. I'm very sorry.
It was a brutal finish, you know. And can you just kind of talk away through it? Like, it looked like you had him in like maybe like a breath choke, and then you kind of.
No, it was a front headlock, and my coach, he was telling me, he's like, hey, he's like, listen, baby, when you get on that front headlock, don't let it out. You know, stay on him a little bit. And I have a lot of guillotine finishes, actually. You know, it's something I have on my resume. I think this is my third or fourth guillotine finish. I think I only have more rear naked chokes than anything like that. But I have a pretty diverse submission game. But I knew once I got in there, I have a very nasty guillotine. So I knew I could switch it off to a high elbow. I was going to go either prayer choke or I was going to go front naked choke on him. But once I started to see that he was giving me his neck very good, I was like, all right, it's okay. It's a wrap. He was trying to swallow, and I felt his Adam's apple get caught right there, and I was like, all right, I got this. It's mine now.
You know, and then finally for me, just, you know, you kind of talked about, you know, Sean Shelby, and, you know, we had talked, you know, a couple years ago, you were in a very, very bad place.
Horrific place.
And with your UFC career, right, it was win, loss, and you didn't even know, like, what was going on, and now you stacked these two finishes back to back. You're in a good place. Like, can you just kind of talk more about that and what the match, you know, it's a ruthless business. You know this more than anyone.
I mean, you're here every weekend, man. You see how effed up it can be, you know. And I don't know what to say. You know, this is the craziest way to make a living. That's all I can say. You know, I could have probably joined the CIA or did some other crazy shit, but yeah, I love fighting. You know what I mean? And I don't know, Alex. I couldn't, brother. I don't know. This is just the way it's supposed to be. I know you came back from a lot of stuff too, so you know it just as well as I know it. It's all about just staying the course and just telling yourself, hey man, I'm gonna be all right. You know, I'm gonna find a way. I don't know how. Like, you look at the mountain, right? When you first look at the mountain, you're like, yo, dude, the hell am I doing? You know? But then you start taking it step by step. Before you know it, you're halfway up the mountain, right? Then you hit the peak, and it's all worth it. You start looking, and you start seeing everything. You never know how you're going to do it. All you got to do is just take that first step. Everything's going to be all right.
Congrats.
Thank you, my man. You're the man.
Maybe part of what I'm about to ask you is kind of tapping into what you just said. We weren't able to hear your post-fight interview because we were interviewing somebody else, but you could definitely see what this fight meant to you. You had a lot of emotion on your face, and you could definitely see that this meant to you. Can you kind of tell us what you were going through at that and what you were maybe talking about like there? What did this fight mean to you?
So the Apex is, I'm an Apex legend. I think so, right? Would you guys say I'm an Apex legend? This is like my sixth fight at the Apex. So maybe one of these days I might get a little placard that says Ramiz Brahimaj has a lot of fights.
Right
yeah.
Next to the Wi-Fi pad.
Yes. He has 3 finishes in the Apex. This dude's an Apex legend. Sean Strickland holds the title for Apex fights, right? Damn. How many fights he got at the Apex?
You got a lot. Keep talking, I'll figure it out.
So anyways, what was the question again? I'm so sorry.
No,
what did the fight mean to you?
Yeah, what this fight meant to you.
Yes,
you could see it in
absolutely.
your emotion in the post-fight.
For sure. This fight meant everything to me. You know what I mean? The Apex is a very special place to me. It actually does hold mixed results and kind of traumas a little bit too. You know what I mean? So I was warming up actually in the same locker room that I lost my fight last May, with the same way that I got my hands wrapped, the same everything, and I was like, oh boy, I gotta face these demons. I was like, hello, darkness, my old friend. And I was like, let's talk, baby. Let's have a conversation right now because I'm winning tonight. And they were like, no. I was like, shut up. 10 times Jim Miller? Damn.
Wait,
all right.
Like
I mean,
50 fights almost.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I hope to attain the Jim Miller status one day, you know. But dude's a legend, man. Also from the East Coast. Tough-ass dudes, man. But it meant a lot. Honest to God, it really did. And, yeah, it was, I told my brother I had to break a curse, man. I had to face that demon head on, and I just looked him right in his eyes, and I was like, yo, I'm going to slit your throat tonight, buddy. This is mine. You ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to hold me down. all that trauma, all that other crap, all that this, all that means nothing to me. It is what it is. So I just faced it head on, and I just started headbutting him, beating the crap out of him. I was like, you ain't winning tonight. It's my night.
And then last, I think you, right up to the fight was done, you went over to the cage. I think you were talking to DC. Mm-hmm. You said he changed your life in New York. What was that all about?
Well, DC told me something. He's like, hey, man. He's like, it's your moment. He's like, anytime you step into this cage, enjoy it. And he was telling me that before I fought in Madison Square Garden, and that fight meant everything to me. You know what I mean? I'm just a little boy from the Bronx, New York. We grew up with food stamps. Both of my parents were immigrants, Albanian immigrants. We had no idea how the hell we were going to make it, And these are just things that I had dreams about, So everything I do, I try to put my heart into it. You know what I mean? And I try to be as sincere as possible, and I try to be as humane and as genuine of a person as I can be. I know the world can be a pretty crappy place sometimes, but, I ain't no motivational speaker or anything like that, man. But, just believe in yourself. And those words resonated with me because when I had the interview with DC, he said something. He's like, man, young man, looks like you got a lot of luggage off of you. He's like, you look more like you're coming into your own. And I said, you know what, I am. I said, you don't realize it, but you actually played a big role in that, in MSG when you were talking to me in my fighter interviews. So I guess moral of the story is, man, always try to leave people with a good word, because you never know, that good word could change somebody's life, It's easy to be a piece of shit, but there's a lot of pieces of shit in this world, so be a good human being, man.
I know you say you're not a motivational speaker, but you're doing pretty good at it.
Maybe post-fighting, who knows?
Congrats on the victory,
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Just one up
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
So there were some misses on the scale this week, and matches had to be changed around. The main event was just canceled due to.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, there's a medical issue with Macy Barber, and you're talking about.
Hey, double bonus? Double bonus? Hey, double bonus?
That's a heck of a way to get one. But you're talking about just the fighter's journey and how difficult it can be to come back from dark places, to come back from challenges. Macy Barber has had a ton of health issues in the past couple of years, and I think for her missing weight this week was more than what happened this week. It was a lot of other things that she'd been going through. How do you see kind of a fighter's career it shows up as one moment for everybody watching, but it's not that way for you.
No, it's a culmination of things. I tell people, it truly is. People don't realize that. They just see this. They see one thing. They see 15 minutes or less, or 25 minutes or less, but they don't see everything that goes into it. That's why I have the utmost respect. I know I was a little playful and joking, but I truly pray for Macy Barber's safety, or Macy Barber is the one that had to pull out, right? I pray for her safety, and I pray for her family. I pray for everything to go good with her and her life. And I think too many times as professional athletes, I think NFL players have this issue too. Once they're retired, they don't know how to come to grips with everything. I think you just have to understand that life is just like a wave. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. And enjoy this moment. Enjoy this moment. Like I said earlier in this week, just like that is going to be over. And I look at these gentlemen right here, my coach Mike Valle, Justin, my baby brother that's been through so much stuff. And these are the moments that are precious to me. You know what I mean? Because these are the moments that I can never get back. This press conference that we're having between each other, with me, you, Alex, all of us here, this moment will never come back. You understand? It's never going to come back. Enjoy it while it's here, right? Don't make it bigger. Don't make it anything that it needs to be, but enjoy it. Sit and enjoy it. Too many times we're looking for the next best thing. We're trying to reach. We're trying to grab. We're trying to do this. Forget that, man. Enjoy what you got right now. Because you never know what's coming, what's around the corner. Enjoy it.
One last one for me. With, taking no damage, are you trying to hop on that Chicago card? Are you trying to hop on the New Orleans card because that was your first amateur fight?
Hey, yeah, I wouldn't.
Texas, because that's the new Noche fight?
Oh, Texas is the Noche fight? Hey, coach, can I be an honorary Mexican, Mexicano? Ramirez. Yeah, I mean, look, whatever God has in store for me, I'll do it. It is what it is. As long as I'm healthy, I'm going to try to get right back to work. And,
You know, I wouldn't mind in August too putting on the show for the people in Chicago. I wouldn't mind doing that. You know, it's like they show me a lot of love in Chicago, and I love them. You know, the whole VFS Academy, everybody over there, they're incredible people. And my coach Mike Valle, I have a lot of props to give that guy. You know, he's believed in me a lot. You know, and he's done a lot for me. So I'm very blessed. I'm very fortunate. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow holds. There is. What movie? Oh, there's a Albanian, say again?
Community in Chicago.
Oh, there is a huge Albanian. I was actually eating at Zimi's in Chicago, but if you guys want real good Albanian food, you guys got to go to the Bronx. You have to go to the Bronx for good Albanian food. Pita, fli, specat mushnon, all of that stuff, man. Or just go to my grandma's house. Hit me up on Instagram and just let me know if you guys want to see my grandma. She's cool as hell, man. She's still kicking. She don't care. She'll cook, she'll clean, she'll do everything. That's it. Thank you guys. You're the best. Mom, I love you. Maybe we double bonus tonight. Who knows? See you soon.